be aware I have to leave at 9:20.
Yeah. So Jo's going to share her highlights first because she's squishing us into a busy morning and we're very grateful.
You're welcome.
So Diana, make host. All right. Good to go. So in case you need that, Diana. So we'd like to welcome everybody who's here now and who is arriving. It's fantastic to have you recognize and support this call. It offers great benefits. We get lots of gratitude coming to us, and we're really grateful that you give some of your time on a Saturday morning to further your connection to Manatech, whether that's for income or whether that's for wellness or both. And also whether you're listening to this later. So luckily we can record. So, sadly, not everybody can be in a tour city. And Gary had a hiccup. He couldn't make it even though he lives close. He had a surprise 80th party for his father. So I'm sure he'll be wanting to hear all about it. And it was just a fabulous, fabulous tour. So what we're going to do today is just go around and, give 3 or 4 minutes about our background and why we're committed and partnered to Manatech. And then we'll obviously let Jo go first in sharing her highlights about Dr. Nugent as she's got to go first. So, Diana, over to you. Your background, why Manatech?
All right. So thanks, Sharon. So I have the privilege of being involved with Manatech Australasia since they launched 20 years ago this October. And how that came about is that I'd had a long-term health challenge, was severely debilitated. And Sharon had gone off to a dinner party and heard about these nutrients arriving in Australia. And as a good friend, she told me about them. And I have a extensive science background. And when I looked at the science, I could see it was something different. So I jumped in there, bought everything that was available in Australia. And long story short, after a few months, I could see signs of recovery. And after an 18-month period, I made a full recovery. So as you can imagine, that got my attention. And I ever since, have become a passionate advocate of what the Manatech nutritional technologies have to offer for their health. And I've had, again, the privilege and the blessing of supporting so many people in either taking their wellness to a new level or recovering from health challenges that they're experiencing. So I became very active as a business associate with the company, and it has delivered so many benefits into my life. Apart from the income and supporting me as an independent businesswoman, it means I've been able to work with a like-minded community, some of which you're going to meet here this morning, and who, their desire in their heart is to uplift me in my success in all aspects of my life. And, for me, that's like gold. And, of course, we have our program that supports malnourished children throughout the world, which is also important to me. So I guess that's a quick snapshot summary, Sharon.
Fantastic, Diana. Thank you. And we'll go to Kelly and then Jo. We're just going in alphabetical order here. And then we'll pass over to Jo so she can share her highlights. Kelly.
Okay. I kind of into Manatech Diana.
You're breaking up a bit, Kel. And you're gone now.
The speaker off.
Oh, there you are. Perfect.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I can't hear you. I might just talk.
We can hear you.
You can't interrupt me though, okay? And kind of like when you get on a good thing, you just have to tell others. So I was pretty excited about the kind of results that I got. But I'll just tell you about my life kind of beforehand. I had basically, this was 14 years ago, and I had a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old. So I was home with one and had one off at school. And I just left a government career to have a family and kind of help my husband in his cleaning company. So we were both working really long hours, just in order to get our kids into have our kids in private school. And that was something that meant a lot to us because we didn't have the opportunity ourselves. But in that process, we were basically sick and tired of being sick and tired all of the time, and we were looking for health improvements. And then this wonderful woman came into our life called Judy, and she shared the products with us. And we just started noticing huge benefits straight away. Like, I had heaps of energy, my brain fog lifted. It just basically gave me a new lease on life. Like, as a mother, if you can understand what it's like to have little kids, it's pretty tiring. And so I was felt like I was on fire. And before taking Manitech, I was like a regular supplement because I was looking for something. So I took everything basically, and I didn't really notice any difference. I was taking it out of faith really. But I slept better. I woke up refreshed. I just had heaps of energy. It was incredible. You couldn't stop me talking about it. I suffered with like colds and flus. My cough would last for weeks. It was like embarrassing. But now, like, if I get a cold, it's just like I get it for like, I can feel it that I've got it, but it kind of goes away within a couple of days. And my kids really didn't like Manitech too much because they never got a day off school. So, and they've always been on the products as well. And that in itself, I would have been really happy with. But in my 20s, I had basically kind of like, I was a bit of a gym junkie. And I used to go to the gym all the time, and I developed a back problem. And so in my government job, I was wearing this back brace at work, which was embarrassing, but I couldn't sit for longer than a couple of minutes. I'd be in excruciating pain. And what I didn't realise, like after 6 months, I just didn't have to do that anymore. So it was like, it just like completely changed my life. So, so I just felt compelled to tell others. So that's basically what I did. So I've kind of had a little sideline business for a number of years now, about 14 years. So that sideline income's helped me, but things happen in life, and we kind of like lost our cleaning business and partnership kind of breakup, and that put a strain on the marriage and separated, obviously. But that sideline income enabled me to be okay. I felt, stable. So it let me be able to go and earn some extra income, get out into the workforce again, and now I'm much happier, and I just have these products which will enable me to lead a happy, healthy life and support my kids in whatever they want to do in life. So it's made a huge difference to me. So hopefully I haven't taken too long.
Perfect, Kelly. That's great. And that sideline income as a safety net, even if you're listening today and you don't really have any intention, love what you do, don't have any intention to, go into a full-time endeavor, the sideline income is just what I think very important in today's date. So we're having a few technical difficulties this morning. If you're watching this later, just because of our lovely non-glycosylated internet in Australia, our bandwidth is low, and so we have two speakers that are just not going to use their video. So if you happen to be seeing this on YouTube, that's what's happening. So Joe, I'll hand to you. So just possibly in recognition that you have to leave, just your background, and then your highlights from Joel Bickman and Dr. Nugent's tour recently in Melbourne.
Okay, great. Thanks, Sharon. Before I go into the background, just one thing I wanted to say is that when Rob and I joined Manitech, right at the very beginning, we were already taking what we considered to be the best quality supplements. And we still had a number of medical conditions that we dealt with regularly and thought we had them for life. But starting on Manitech supplements just gave us health benefits we couldn't possibly have ever dreamed that we were going to have. And that really made us very passionate about the company and the products. We describe ourselves as corporate escapees. Both of us were working in corporate roles, working our way up the corporate ladder, finding we had less time, more stress, and it took us a while to realise that we really had a ladder up against the wrong wall. We wanted, like most people, more time in our lives to do the things we wanted to do, and more financial freedom, not worrying about, whether we could afford the school fees this term or whatever. So we left the corporate world and went into our own business about 12 months before Manatech. And it was great. We ran our training consultancy and we were doing really well. And we had a little bit more time freedom, but only a little bit. And in terms of financial freedom, forget it. When you're running your own small business, especially something like that, you have months where there's plenty of money, you can pay all the bills, and then you have months where there's hardly any, and the month after that, when it's good again, you're busy paying the bills the month before. So again, we really were not where we wanted to be. So having had such great results with the products, it seemed like a no-brainer to really go out and build a business. So we got ourselves to national director. It took us, about 3.5 years or 4 years to do that. So we didn't rush out there. But we made a decision one day that it was kind of like we just resolved to do what we really wanted to do, and that was to get to presidential. So we walked away from our training consultancy and we put our heads down and our bums up, and 14 months later, we were bronze presidentials. So one of the great things for us about Manatech, not only the health benefits, but it's the people you meet and the people you work with. Manatech is such a family. It feels, oh gosh, my video's on.
Praise the Lord, it's Australia.
Must have been the Ambertos I took just before I got on. The amazing people that you actually meet, and having the opportunity to impact the lives of so many people, to be able to see people who, some people, $100 or $200 a month makes a massive difference. So to be able to help people achieve that, and a whole lot more, much, much bigger levels, and to see people who were really struggling with their health to regain that health again and have the kind of life that they really didn't think was ever going to be possible is just so fulfilling, and it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. In terms of the launch last Saturday, because it was Brisbane, because we've moved now, it was great. It was one of the best events of its kind I think I've ever been to in Manatech. It was really great to hear Joel Bickman, to hear what he had to say, and Dr Nugent is, well, he's Manatech's rock star, isn't he? He's incredible. I've never known somebody to be as intelligent as he is, and he's just so knowledgeable in the whole area of health and wellness, and so passionate about it. He, as the person who heads up the global scientific advisory board, he's perfect. The product that he launched the other day, I don't quite know what else to say, but wow. Manatech's products are amazing, and that's what's always stood them out for the crowd. And as I said, Rob and I have had incredible results, as have members of our family and so many of our friends. But this just takes Manatech's products to a whole new high. We are just finishing off a tub of Ambertos at the moment, and I can't wait to finish it. I'm tempted just to keep swallowing so we can open our Ambertos life. The new things that they've put into life, the new ingredients, I think we're going to see some really dramatic changes for people in shorter periods of time. And the fact that Manatech is so excited about it, to me says, you know, we're not just going to see that, but we're going to see those changes more quickly. So Rob and I both absolutely loved the launch. As I said, we can't wait to get on the product, and we can't wait to tell people about the product.
Thank you, Jo. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
And I'll pass over to Diana now.
Thanks, Sharon. So, yes, as Jo said there, Joel Bickman started off the presentation. I hadn't met him before. What's his title? Is it Vice President of International Marketing? Or?
I think he's the Chief Operating Officer now.
Operating, yeah, and
Chief
marketing
Operating
something
Officer.
as well.
So,
He did come in as the marketing fellow, the guru, the marketing gurus. That's how he started with Manatech. As a marketing officer.
Does anybody remember his description of how he was interviewed? How thorough they were? And he shared about it at Manifest one year, and he talked about, it was just hilarious. He talked about how, you know, that how many meetings, and he flew down there and they all flew up there, and there's something like 5 or 6 intensive interviews. And he says, I was scared that they're going to reach into the drawer and pull out a glove to do a rectal exam. He says, I'll never forget that. It was so funny. So
well, what a great example of how, well, not just thorough, but what a priority it is for Manatech to have the most outstanding leaders steering our company. So that's refreshing as well as hilarious. And the other thing I love is that, you know, we had another international corporate member come out and meet us in person. I think, again, that, you know, including Australia in the international connection, I really appreciated. And one of the things that he highlighted in his presentation is how many billions bottles of Ambrose we've already sold. Did anyone get that figure down?
I didn't write it down.
I think it was 3 billion.
It was billion.
Yeah, it was billion.
Yeah.
Yes.
3 billion, let's say, at minimum, tubs of Ambrose have been sold in the last 20 to 22 years. And, you know, that just speaks mobs in itself, doesn't it? And he gave a bunch of comparisons. Maybe Kelly got those down. Nugent led off with, from the basics, really. And in that section of his presentation, he talked about, the thing that stood out to me is he talked about the studies we've heard before about how many fruit and veg were recommended and how many now. But it struck me at a new level. He said that 1995 study of fruit and vegetables was just purely on the antioxidant component, not on a broad range of nutrition, just the antioxidants. And on antioxidants alone, they recommended all adults take an additional 5 to 7 fruits and veggies a day. And then they repeated that exact same study in 2012. So that's what, nearly 20 years, so 17 years later, that the same study revealed that people now need to eat 7 to 14 fruits and vegetables to get the recommended amount of antioxidants.
And no one's going to do that.
And of course, that's right, Kelly. No, who's going to do that? Did he say they then no longer continued those studies because they got...
Yeah, they realised it was futile.
Yeah.
No one's going to do that.
Yeah. So on that alone, it'd be smart to add antioxidants into your diet, wouldn't it?
Well, they just don't want to tell people what's happening with the food, do they?
That's right.
You know,
they don't want to admit.
If you get the reality of it, it is really scary.
Yeah. And look, I still speak with people. I spoke with a very...
I'm ready, love.
This is a real community event.
Zoom. I don't want to use it. Crap.
Jo, you might want to mute yourself. I can't, Donna, you can mute her. I can't because you're host.
How do I
just go up right of her name and you can
got it.
Yeah.
Is that muted?
Yep. I can't tell because I'm not host.
It says mute. And then he went on to talk about the study we've all heard about, which was the 2002 study where the American Medical Association concluded that to recommend in one of their prestigious journals that it's wise for all adults to take vitamin supplements. So, and again, that's vitamins alone. So as Sharon just said, it's very clear, you know, people are hoodwinked. And what I was saying is I was even speaking with a lady yesterday that I met, and she's a very intelligent woman. And she says, oh, we just eat really well. And I'm sure they do. I'm sure she goes to great lengths to make sure her family are well nourished to the best of her knowledge. But we know that that's not enough. So that came, those 2 points really came home to me again this time. And then I guess the other highlight is really seeing, I mean, I know this anyway, having been involved with the company for so long, but hearing again that no expense and no scientific proof has been spared in the development of the new Ambritose Life. You know, it's all top, whatever ingredient is in there is the highest quality that's scientifically available on our planet right now, and in the highest, you know, quantity and the right balance for human health. You know, we've got our Manipol in there. I'm not going to, I'll leave some things to for Kelly to cover. And we've got the Ambragard, which is the arabinogalactin, the Wakami, and a couple of nutrients in there for detoxification of both chemicals and heavy metals. So we're all exposed to this incredible toxic load. It's another area where people understand that they are, but I don't think they fully understand the level of confront that's happening at a cellular level to all of us. And so intelligently, Manatech have included both angles of detoxification, one chemicals and the other heavy metals. And of course, they've now put a nutritional base in there of the rice bran extract. And the other interesting thing that happened to me this week, I'm not sure, it says...
Yeah, it is Joe, so you can...
I hit mute audio, but it's not doing that, so let me see.
So if you can hear us, just mute, because we know you have to get ready to go, which is a busy time, but your sound is still coming through.
I have hit mute, but it's not muting it.
First of all, I
Might have to ring her.
I don't have my phone in here.
Oh, then Kelly Abramson's camera wouldn't work at all. The younger wouldn't work at all, so we never saw her. And she lost her go.
Janet just shut it off.
It's not letting me do anything yet. Shall I make you host, Sharon, and see if you can? So Sharon.
And then when I was speaking,
okay, so I made you host. So going on from that, the other thing that happened this week was that I had a new customer start on the Ambritose Life. And of course, the first thing she did was read the label. And so that led me to read the label. And unfortunately, the label is severely understates the power of what's in Ambritose Life. It lists the modified citrus pectin and the sodium alginate as... So obviously our Australian government, it's the Australian government enforced labelling that has led that label to be understated. So don't get distracted or sidelined by that. These are premium ingredients that are the highest available on our planet today. Kelly, did you want to go through some of those ingredients?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, Diana. Yeah, just first of all, I kind of, what struck me from that presentation was going back again to like doctors and basically, you know, there's so many scientific studies on this field of nutrition that our company basically founded. So that in itself is incredible. There's no other nutritional company that's founded a whole, you know, group of nutrients. And even though there's like, you know, a minimum, like thousands and thousands and thousands of articles on glycans, your doctor doesn't know about glycans. and they're probably, you know, we are so better educated in what's available to improve our health that we've got, you know, really a moral responsibility to tell that to people, because doctors just don't know. And we've got something that, you know, makes a huge difference to human health. So, yeah, so I've got a new sense on my moral responsibility to share that with people. And also, so the actual ingredients itself, right, okay. So another thing as well that I thought was amazing was that you talked about, I mean, we in Australia, I haven't really heard about any competitors as far as the Manopole is concerned in Australia, but what he was talking about, which is blew me away as well, is that there are other competitors who grow, who are selling kind of like copy products. And he said that shockingly that most of the aloe is grown in China, and in China it's terrible pollution, and you know, Chinese people are trying to get supplements to improve their health, and you know, shipping in bucket loads of stuff, you know, every minute. We've got people in Australia sending products back to China to help the health of the people in China, and we have Chinese people growing aloe and, you know, distributing that product basically that's, you know, that's got chemicals in it and it's got pollution in it. So, you know,
yeah,
our
so I
aloe.
think one of the things he's added in there, Kelly, was that aloe in and of itself is designed to absorb chemicals
right.
from so the worst place, unfortunately,
that's right,
growing it would be China.
Yeah, and that's where it's grown. It's like our world is upside down. So again, we've really got a moral responsibility to be able to, you know, explain that to people if it comes up. So I just wanted to mention that as well. And yeah, so the ingredients, this modified citrus pectin, and you know, adding that into this product is incredible. So really, the whole thing of the overall overarching impression I got from last night was that this product, if people want one product, this is the one. But it's not only just one product, it's incredible value. And I thought, well, and when I first got my box of sticks and I figured out the actual cost of each stick was $10, I went, gee, yeah, it's pretty expensive. But then when I went to last night's, you know, people are spending, they'll go and buy a coffee for $5, not flinch one iota. But nutrition, the food that we eat is not what it used to be. So really we have to treat this like it's your food budget. It's what you should be having before you eat the food that's not got the nutrition in it. That was my main, you know, take away from the night. And people smoke, like, you know, $20 a packet of cigarettes, like it's just ridiculous. So it's not, people can afford it. They've just got to realise how undernourished we are, and the simple solution is to take the stick. They've done all the science. They've done everything. It's incredible the amount of nutrition that's in this product. And they've got everything covered, like the stabilised rice bran. It's got more than 100 nutrients in the kind of base of the product, the stabilised rice bran, you know, B vitamins. It's just ridiculous amount of, you know, nutrition that's in there. Now this modified citrus pectin, which Donna was talking about, you know, it removes the synthetic chemicals from the body. So we all know that there's, you know, all the things that's in the environment today. Well, some people might not know, but there's incredible amounts of stuff that we shouldn't be ingesting and absorbing into our skin from products and, you know, skin creams, etc., perfumes, and that takes it out of the body. So, and the other ingredient was the sodium alginate, and that's from kelp. The analogy that Dr. Nugent gave is that how that product actually, or how that ingredient works, is it's kind of like a magnet. So the actual, I can't remember the name of the actual ionic, it's got an ionic charge. So, and basically it attracts like a magnet. So the bad metals that we have in our body, which everyone has. We've got lead, mercury, aluminium, stuff that shouldn't be in there. So that basically pulls that out of the body, out of the bloodstream, and then we excrete it via urine. So that's a great benefit, huge, huge benefit. So if there's one product that you take, this is it. And this, I will not go a day without this for the rest of my life, without a doubt. So I was pretty impressed with how amazing this product is. So it's not just an improvement, it's a leap. This product is a leap from Ambitose. It's incredible.
Well, that's a great description, Kelly. You know, it is a leap in science.
Yeah.
A couple of other things that might be of interest to people. I'm a bit science girl, so I get into the details. So right now we have Ambitose Complex, we have Advanced Ambitose, and now we have the new enhanced Ambitose Life. So Ambitose Life has twice as much Manopol as Advanced Ambitose. It has twice as much Wakame. And in regard to the Wakame, so the Wakame is the source of the fucoidins as a glyconutrient or a nutritional glycan. And the Wakame that we use in our product, of course, many of you would know, is from the pristine waters of Tasmania, or as pristine as it gets on our planet. And then it's Manatech triple refined. They're the only company, in fact, they've got an exclusive agreement for the triple refined Wakame. And each time they refine it, it concentrates the fucoidins. So I heard, he didn't say it this presentation, but I've heard him say it before, is that you can't compare the Wakame in our product with the amount of Wakame in another product, because our Wakame is concentrated fucoidin. All we have to do is just Google fucoidins. There's increasing research, increasing recognition of the value of that one glyconutrient to human health. And we can't say what the potential benefits are, but it's all there to read. And of course, we've now got the AmberGuard, which is the source of arabinogalactin, which is galactose, I believe.
Yep, galactose, yep.
Galactose, which is not the same as lactose from milk sugar. This is galactose. And that the tub has a huge portion of the arabinogalactin in there, which is an immunomodulator. So remember that Ambitose is a modulator of the immune system. So it's not pushing the immune system up or pushing the immune system down. It's creating a balance. So wherever your immune system happens to be, it supports the body in finding a balance point. And he stated that the AmberGuard is an immune modulator and good for anything with an itis attached to it.
Yes, I love the itis explanation.
Yeah. And then as it also has the allopectin in it, which is significant. It's he said that it has a higher atomic weight than other pectins, and that also assists with detoxification of the body.
Yeah, binding of those metals, yeah, and out of the gut. Yep.
Awesome. And of course, as Kelly said about the Manopol, so, you know, our Manopol, 1.6 million Daltons in atomic weight. There's nothing, I think the closest competitor is about a quarter of that. And in fact, our Manos or Manopol is the only true ACE mannan that exists worldwide right now. Those claiming to be ACE mannan, ciao Sharon, do not qualify, which is the qualification for true ACE mannan is over 1 million Daltons. Of course, Manatech continually improve the growing methods of their aloe and the you know, every year they improve the crop concentration of Manopol, and we're able to increase that atomic weight. We're currently at 1.6 million Daltons, which is absolutely awesome. So that's all I have. Kelly, did you have anything else you wanted to add in? Just
something that I picked up from Dr. Nugent. He was talking about obviously Manopol being the number one glycan. That's the one that everybody needs. That's the most powerful one. That's the most utilised in the body. That's the glycan. But he also said that the number two glycan was the arabinogalactan. So he said that was, you know, out of any, if you could only take one, this Manopole, but then you've got that one is, you know, number 2 on the list. So they've really gone to the, you know, main efforts of putting in this product exactly what we need and the importance of what we need to be able to improve our health. Just thinking of anything else that...
Well, one of the things that I'm reminded of, thank you, John and Anna, for reminding me there in the chat box. One of the things that Joel Bickman led with was that how much adding ambertose in had improved his wife's health. But the point he made is it changed their relationship. Their relationship, I'm gathering, was strained as a result of health challenge in the family. And as a result of adding in the ambertose to his wife's daily regime and her health improving, their relationship improved, and I gather the family relationship improved. And, you know, ambertose is just one example of thousands that I've heard over the last 20 years, that ambertose changes lives. And like Kelly said, we have if you really understand what we have in your hands, we have an obligation to share this technology with other people. At least let them know about it. It's okay if they say no. But, you know, I'll often say to people, you know, it'd be wrong of me not to let you know about this at minimum. And giving them, giving the opportunity to have a look and make their own decision.
And it's so aptly named. It is life. It's just life on so many levels, isn't it, Diana?
The manner, you can explain that because you probably have more understanding of that than me, Kelly.
What do you mean, Diana?
I
just mean
ambertose life.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm with you now.
It's so aptly named.
Manna from heaven.
Oh, no. But they couldn't have picked a better name, being life, because it's just so descriptive. You can, it's just everything. Yeah. I mean, without this product, my life would be completely different. Like you can't, I don't know where I'd be without it. So I'm so grateful to the person that shared it with me.
Yeah, likewise. So if you want to share, thanks, Kelly.
It's okay.
If you want to share this technology with others, I'm actually presenting a webinar on nutritional glycans this Tuesday night, and you can see the details of that in Australasia Connect on Facebook. It's open to everyone. I have some special guest speakers. It's a different, slightly different angle. I'm covering some of the science of glycans and then sharing about ambertose and ambertose life. So if you want to put that information in front of people, you're more than welcome to join that webinar, and the details are in Australasia Connect on Facebook. So I think we'll complete there. In their absence, I'd like to acknowledge and thank Joe Wilson, Sharon Whiteman, and of course a warm, deep thank you to you, Kelly, for taking time on your Saturday morning to share the news on ambertose life. And who's joined us, thanks for being here. Have a great Saturday, and we'll see you next Saturday. Bye.
Thank you, Diana. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Gary.